Hello, Uter Master. Welcome. Just checking out this Chessable Pro thing with the chess candidates because I still have to catch up on that. So we're at the part where just getting Ding's life story. It's funny how Ding qualified for the 2022 candidates because Karyakin was eliminated because of his pro-war sentiments, which is kind of unusual. Usually you don't qualify by someone being eliminated for political reasons. So there's a positionally overwhelming idea for black that I'm supposed to find. It looks to me like they're really about to take this pawn. So maybe bishop e4, like not lose a pawn. Maybe bishop a6 to not exchange that bishop either. Alright, it was bishop e4. That's too bad. It's okay. Yeah, the next few examples are all Ding games. And then it'll be another player. There's in the beginning of this book, which by the way is only available to Chessable Pro people. They introduce each of the players with a few of their highlights from old games, and then I guess it goes through every single one of the candidates games from from this year. Okay, so I have to move my queen. Where do I put it? Maybe just right in the middle. Maybe I should just take it. Yeah, do I move my queen and where, or do I just get rid of the knight? Alright, I say we get rid of it. The hero's gonna play something like rook d5. Just to not lose a rook. I don't think it necessarily makes sense to play down an exchange, but it wouldn't be without compensation. At any rate, rook d5 seems totally normal. Okay, rook d7. It might be buyer's choice. Not sure I really want to trade queens. Okay. Ding wants to trade queens. I'd like to get my knight involved more than play c4, but c4 is also a good looking move. Like, is it important that I get the pawns rolling? Yeah, because they'll probably play bishop c5 and try to form a blockade, so we should protect it. Okay, here I thought that after I go here, they'll play bishop c5. I guess I could always just play a5. Yeah, they both seem good. I don't think these examples really do any alternative moves. I am really not sure what the differences are. I mostly want to just get to the part where I can see the candidates' games, because I haven't checked them really at all. Let me just turn on a light, and then I'll proceed to the next one. I just realized that it's going to get dark pretty soon. Alright, so here we go. In this alternate universe, Ding has just played the natural-looking c4. Huh. Why was c4 not good? Good question. Is the queen trapped? Like we take and play knight a2. And then queen takes, bishop takes, pawn takes, knight c1. Well, that's definitely interesting, and there's not a lot of time to solve this, so I'm going to go for it. I think this is the best. Oh, okay. We have this in-between move that makes it even better. I think we can just straight away play knight a2. Okay, now do I take with the bishop or with the king? Probably with the king, because the bishop's doing good work on h3. Okay. I'm cool with any of these possibilities. Maybe take this one. Okay. Well, I spotted the main idea, so I'm kind of okay with this. With these books that are made by Chessable, I found that they usually don't consider alternate moves very much. So it hasn't been very fruitful for me in the past to do engine analysis on the alternatives to see if they missed something. The answer is almost always yes. So I'll just try to absorb the choice that they thought was good and move on with my merry life. I don't know why they bothered to give some commentary like this position was not reached in the game. Like, yeah, I guess when we see the game, we'll notice that. Chess commentary can be so, like, just god-awful sometimes. Really unreadable. I just want to increase the pressure, which is also one of those, like, chess catchphrases. It's like every move is just like adding pressure, relieving pressure. Something about pressure. I'm not sure their commentary really explains this very well, but it makes sense that the knight on c1 is not that well placed, so we may as well open the position. Yeah, Uter Master, I do think that they don't necessarily put the most effort in. I think it's one of those things where they're trying to get the most buck for the bang or something. Okay, am I taking on d4? Maybe I'm taking on c3. I can see why this is good, but I don't see why the other one's bad. Maybe do this. Just tactics here. And I think I wanted to play queen c6, but I'm looking for alternatives here. Or queen d5, both of these moves. We could also play the piece up game by trading queens. Not sure how I want to capitalize. Okay, let's say just queen d5. Okay. MCAT, welcome. Yeah, most buck for the bang. It's definitely a strategy shared by the capitalistic world over. Alrighty, so white just played c4, locking the queen side. Black has poured all his resources. Of course, what else? What did black have in mind? Another funny thing about the chess speaking situation, we often come to a situation where we're sort of supposing very heavily what the opponent was thinking when it's not necessarily so. I find that kind of amusing once in a while. I really wanted to sack here and start the pieces rolling. I should get like 3 pawns here somehow. Looking for alternatives. I don't see anything really. Yeah, that's good. Okay, and this was the whole game. Speedy Gonzalez style. Just gonna go quickly through it. This is all mainline French stuff. Bishop e7 is pretty popular. c3 is a funny move. Castle, castle, yeah. And then f6. Breaking the center. This is probably... Actually, I should probably look back at this game later on. I think this is probably an important game in this opening theory. I like it when there's a super V. V for victory in the pawn structure. Yeah, I didn't want to trade queens in that position. I wanted to play something like queen d5 check and then rook c8. And then bishop is fine, I think. Okay, so we go queen b6, of course. What else? We take on e5, and then only move is to take with the pawn, and then rook d8. He wants to play d4 because now there is no pawn on d4, and so bishop h3. Not good. So rook d1, suggested better move to play against d4. Pawn takes, knight takes, or anyone takes. We don't care. Take, 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 and is good time. Yes, nice. So bishop h3 doesn't do anything about that, so not good. Sag bishop. He says, objectively, this is a dubious move, but we can be sure that Ding has a plan behind this complex idea. Can we really be so sure? What if Ding just, felt good about it? Just for sake of argument here. Maybe he just saw d3 and was like, he's not opening prep on move 14, but, he's a good move, and then he plays it. How do we know that it's not the case? Anyway, a little tongue-in-cheek there. I mean, they did, of course, do... Well, they probably did a post-mortem at the Aeroflot Open in 2011, so... They might have even said what they were thinking. So I'm just being silly. Okay. Black is pushing every pawn on the board in this game, which is always fun. Rook a2, big mistake. Best to move bishop e3. Apparently better in view of b4 or something. Subtle move, c4. Take, 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 and we just saw this tactic. And the idea is to play queen f2, which is actually a typical idea in this opening, so it's not like that crazy to think about. That's often why we play this this line with white. We play f4 and bishop e3 and queen f2. All right, 1 second, guys. Need to do an important thing. Second. Alright, anyway, sorry about that. And then knight a5, brilliant move. No time for queen f2 because knight c4. Yes. And they go for the counter plays, but then the pawns are rolling. And very good pawns they are. Exchange sacrifice, which didn't make the cut for positions to share with us in the examples. Eatermaster was asking after d3, what if bishop e6? Good question. I think the problem with bishop e6, they'll be like bishop e6, king h8, and they have to move this knight, right? If they take on d7, then probably bishop takes d7 is very good. I don't see why it wouldn't be. And if they play, for example, queen d3, then there's knight e5 winning a piece. And if they play... for example, knight c1, which is ugly, then there's also knight e5 winning a piece because of knight f3 in between. Yeah, I think these are the reasons that they cannot play bishop e6. They don't even mention it, which is also one of my qualms with these chessable books. I really get the feeling that they just put them together like in a rush with the engine running a lot of the time. These really like obvious and important lines, like what if bishop e6 check, they often just go under the radar. So even though I was one of the first people supporting Chessable financially by getting a membership, I've been dissatisfied with the results for 3 years. That is not to say that I'm going to like not use their service, because I think it's very good for students, and I want to constantly be aware of what is there. You know, I want to be able to help students, point them in the right direction for free resources. So I'll always use Chessable, but I don't think they've done what they. I don't think they've done enough for the membership. David Jestick, thank you for your comment. I wish you luck in your chess hustle too. MCAS, hate is a strong word. I think I probably come off like I'm complaining a lot when I'm really just describing. I like that they make free chess available for people. I do appreciate that a lot. They have a bunch of free chess books. That's their main draw, in my opinion. Okay, so this is just informational, so we skip that. I think we're finally getting some games. Yeah, we are. Okay, so we have some puzzles from the games, and I guess we'll see the full text at the end. Black is assembled on the king side. How does Nepo break through? These chess nicknames are pretty funny. Nepo, because we cannot pronounce Nepomniachtchi. Breaking through, right. About that, maybe g5. Yes, good move. We don't care about queenside anymore. Break through that way. A lot of positivity here from David. Thank you. Yeah, I don't even have 2K yet in terms of subscribers on YouTube, but I hope it's gonna grow, and I hope that I can bring free chess to more people, and that we can all, you know, work on our chess together. I think chess is a social activity, although it doesn't always come off that way, and we should keep chess social. Keep it fun by doing it together. Before engines, chess was a lot more social, is the feeling that I got from talking to people, and also from being on like the tail end of the no engines era when I learned how to play. Rook f2 is on my mind, but I don't see a win after rook f2, king f2, pawn g3, so maybe we start with h3 and sack a piece, something like that. There's not enough time for me to work this one out completely, so what's my feeling? My feeling is h3. Okay. Now they take, and maybe we take, or maybe we, you know, maybe give this up for some tempo, or maybe we take that and play h2, or maybe we just play h2. We've got a lot of options here. Well, I don't see rook e4 being it. I kind of want to take this. They take this. We move the king. They probably have to take here, and then we have maybe queen h3, king g1, rook f2. That looks kind of good, so I want to take this one. Okay, I move my king. Yes, that was right. Black is threatening queen h1 mate, and there's no good defense, as they say. Yes, of course. MCAT had a good question. Why would we want to play h2? Doesn't it give white an umbrella pawn? Well, the reason I was thinking to play h2, I refuted it. I don't think I said it out loud, though, because the time was limited. But my idea was that if I could get them to play, for example, let's pretend that they played bishop e4. Let me switch to an analysis scene. All right, let's see if this is coming up right. Okay, good. So let's pretend that they had played this one. One of my ideas is to, first of all, check. They should probably go here. I take. Let's pretend they take like this. And then I wanted to do something like check, takes, make them take this. And then if I had some kind of good rook move here, I would win, but there are two problems. Number one, if they take with the rook, they can block, even if I got two moves in a row. The other problem is that I need 2 moves in a row. So I thought about this. It didn't work. That's why I kind of dismissed it. But that was what I was going for when I was thinking about h2 in the first place. The other idea could be that I just want to gain access to the square h3 for my queen or my bishop. So that's what I was thinking. It didn't work out, but it was on my mind. Okay, so let's move on a little bit. So they played f4. He says, finish the game like Nepo. Finish him. Yeah, what would Nepo do as the t-shirt doubtless goes? Let's see. So we give check, and then they go here, of course. What else? And where's the win? Maybe we take this one. No, it seems a little brazy. I don't know. I do want to start with queen h1 now. Maybe we check, they go here, and we go here. Then they can play rook g1. Check, 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 block. Alright, I'm going to throw this one. Alright, barely made it in time. The stitch in time saves 9. Maybe I just take the rook and keep being rude to their monarch. I kind of want to just do something. Well, I don't see why I can't take that rook. But I'm almost certain that there's something better here. There's really gotta be. Like, if they take the queen, we get a queen, right? So, how do we do the needful? Maybe bishop h3? Of course, it's queen takes a1. Alright. Easy. Now, maybe check. They take it. Check, they go here, and we probably have a checkmate. Not that clear. Check. Check, they go here. Check, maybe. They go here. Running low on time. Check. They go here. I don't know, I'm gonna do this. Alright, lucky. Lucky, lucky. So it says we do this and h5. Okay. I would have thought for a minute before playing this one just to get a little more thinking time. Probably would have found h5. It was definitely on my list of things to do. But queen h3, that was the hard move with the time limit. Okay, well, I couldn't ding just grab the g2 pawn. Great question. What's wrong, ding? Why don't you take the g pawn? Come on, ding. You're better than this. Alright, so we check. They go here. We take this threatening mate. I think they have to, well, they could maybe check us, but then we just come back. So let's say they take it. We check like this. If they play king e1, then we play queen g1 mate, so they can only play this one, but then we play bishop h3. Now they have to play. Okay, so I think this is it. Oh man, it was this one first. I wonder if the other's an alternative, but I also just want to see all the games. This converges to the same line. Actually, yeah, it's by force leading to the same position. Yeah, so my variation was right, but they just didn't give the alternative moves. Alright, this is the whole game. Is some English with c6. We do the fun time thing where we provoke them to advance their pawns, then undermine them. This is kind of like Alapin. That's a fun, nice thing to do, of course. Knight c2, never lose your knight. Of course, we don't really want to play e3. Weakens the light squares, so get some tempo, of course. Knight a6 is a funny move. What's the idea with this? I guess just a good waiting move, yeah. Because you might want to play bishop c5, or you might want to play bishop g4 or something. We don't know where we want to go yet. So flexible knight a6. Trying to blockade and win the e-pawn. This is like white is just playing a weird Sicilian. So I kind of like this for white. Knight g4, surprise move. Hello, Inner Circle, welcome. I have very mixed feelings about provoking h4. Sometimes the attack just amounts to nothing, but sometimes it's very, very good. But with the bishop on e7, it makes sense that there might be something. Okay, so we trade this one. So he's not going for any attack on the king, really. Not yet. Just keeping the e-pawn very safe, very snug. Yes. Bringing more pieces. And preparing g5. So the attack did eventually come, but with no knight on g4. And we already saw all this. Just some tactics time. So this is Caruana versus Nakamura. How did Caruana react to Black's aggressive setup on the king side? Yeah, it is a little aggressive, isn't it? So where's our point of strength? I remember, actually I saw this game briefly. I just remembered. I remember how this knight came over here and was maybe belligerent towards these pawns. Yeah, I remember some commentator said the knight looks silly over there, but it's actually good. Yeah, I don't know what to do. I'm going to just play c4. d4, okay. Attack on the wing should be countered by attacking the center. Yeah, it's easy to say after the game. Yeah, seems legit. Looks good to me. I'm cool with that. What did Fabiano play? Do people call people by their first names in other sports? Like, you know, Ben, who throws the football, or you know, good old Joe who swings the bat. In chess, we call everybody like Fabiano, Magnus, Sam. I guess it's easy to do when there's like not that many players. Like you don't really have redundancies with their names. I have a feeling that he plays c4 to try to make d5 less enticing, but they really can just play d5. So maybe it's f4. Trying to open up the king side. All right, time's kind of low, so we do that. Oh yeah, this is a more forcing way to open the king side. That makes sense. So right idea, wrong execution. Oh yeah, T Street 703, welcome on Twitch. Yeah, you're right. We do call him Kobe in basketball. And LeBron. That's true. But in tennis, people just say like Federer, right? They don't say. In fact, what even is his first name? Roger, right? Yeah. What do you guys think about chess being considered a sport? I'm under the impression that people, basically everywhere except the US, consider chess some kind of sport. I think it's more of a sport than golf, but I'm not sure if it's as much of a sport as, say, football. Hubble Truffle, welcome. Should white take on e4? Great question. I think white should take on e4. Just kidding. Let's think about this. I mean, what could really go wrong? I guess they'll play like bishop f7 or something. And just move my queen and deal with it. Yeah, I'm going to take the pawn. Womp, knight d5. Oh, I remember this part of the game, actually. Yeah. They can't really take the knight because the rook would be too good on d5 with their king and their queen all situated badly. Yeah, I do remember this. They take, queen a1, king h2, and the checks run out. They're getting checkmated, so it's knight d5. I think the game ended like pretty much right here. I think it was knight e7, something like this. Knight e7, king f7. Where's love? What's going to happen next? Oh yeah, rook f1. I think that makes sense. Yeah, I think this is it. Alternative. They finally decided to put an alternative move in the book. Yeah, inner circle is a good question. If chess is not a sport, what is it? People could say a game, but then you could say like all sports are games. So it's like, is it merely a board game like Life or Pachisi? I'm not sure it is, because first of all, it has no random element. Yeah, in a circle, sport is a word that meant fun in some capacity. Like you might say sporting, meaning it's like a fun thing to do. Making sport, still a phrase we use in English. I'm going to do this again to gain more thinking time. Chessable exploit at work. Well, they still can't take this knight, right? So, can we improve the position otherwise? Maybe queen e4 now? Oh, yeah, they're even asking us if we should take on e4. I'm going to take on e4. Of course. What else? Alright. Moving on. It says, yes, queen takes e6 might be a winning rook endgame, but how did he start a final attack? Oh yeah, we're going to start the final attack. Probably with knight e7. Or knight c7, or rook e3. Let's say rook e3, bishop d5, rook g3. It seems like risking it for the biscuit, honestly. Because we are down a piece. So I think we should probably move the knight. I kind of want to play a move like knight f4. Just keep all the attacking possibilities here. But what about knight e7 check? King f7, queen b7 looks pretty good. I don't know, I'm going to do this. Alright, it was knight e7. I think knight e7 would be way riskier if you don't see what's going to happen next. Here I was thinking queen b7. Okay, I was wrong. So the knight is better on f5. They're not wrong. T Streets was saying the mental aspect is what makes it a sport. I saw this earlier, sorry for reacting so late. Golf, like chess, is incredibly difficult to master. But does something being difficult to master automatically make it a sport? What's an example? Something that's difficult to master. I mean, you guys could probably fill in the blank there. Difficult to master, but not a sport. Math is not a sport, but it's like impossible to master. You can only master it relative to all the other humans, I guess. Alright, now queen b7 could be a thing. They have rook d7. Queen b7, rook d7, knight d6. That could be good. Alright, time is out, so I'm going to play it. Oh man. Rook f1 is an obvious good move too. Like wherever they move their king, I don't think they even have a good response. So yeah, this is more or less obvious. Definitely better than queen b7. Yes, I think knight h6 should do the trick. Like even though our queen's hanging, we should be able to fix that. Like we go here, maybe they'll play this one. Queen g4 should work. Because if they play queen g6, we have rook f7. Oh no, the bishop is guarding f7. I still think this is like an obvious move to play though. Just a matter of finishing it off in a good way. I think we have multiple good moves, like queen b4, queen g4. Knight d6 also looks like something. Because we can take everything with check. Yeah. Well, let's say we go here and they go here, right? Alright, time is up. I'm going to play this. Alright, it was knight h6. Sag. Series of checks. So I think I want to do this. Queen g4. And here they would play queen g6, but then, yeah, knight f5. Wins the hanging rook. Looks good. Hubble Truffle makes a good point about sports that the aspect of competition could be what makes it a sport, but there are solo sports that don't require competition. Like, I imagine running is like what you would put in that example. You know, you can run against yourself. I think runners frequently talk about how they're competing against their own best time. But of course, there's also races, and probably running originated with racing more so than like distance running for times. Especially since timekeeping was not that sophisticated until like 200 years ago. So that would make sense. Inner Circle also had the thought that the competitive element is what makes it a sport. But yeah, some things are definitely competitive, but not sports. For instance, the job market. Getting a job is not a sport, but it's definitely competitive. Other obvious examples might not be good to say on stream. Okay, so we have an exchange Spanish. I like how they threw this together, but they like didn't even give comments for this game. They're like, you know what? You've seen the game. Here you go. There's not a single comment on this, even though like this move is definitely worth commenting. It looks very weird to like not finish your development, put your knight on the edge of the board, but the knight was able to exert very real pressure on the entire queen side for the rest of the game, which is probably instructive for this pawn structure, which occurs quite frequently because of the exchange Spanish. Because this is where we were striking the center against Nakamura's kingside expansion. Trading off the bishop before it gets trapped. Bringing back the knight to get rid of that bishop, so black doesn't get the bishop pair as compensation. Caruana's provoking the kingside to advance. And only when black castles he plays f3. I think I remember commentators saying like this was a very precise, like well played from an engine perspective game by Caruana. They repeated a couple times before going for the real deal with knight d5. Yeah, that was our game. Hubble Truffle, this is chessable. I can give you the exact link if you want. The thing is, you can't actually get this course unless you're a pro member. So I'm just showing it to you guys while I still have my pro membership, which will run out in November. But they haven't really done anything with Chessable that's spectacular since I started, so I probably won't be renewing. Depends on if I feel like writing and publishing a book or not. I might renew the moment that I want to publish a book, but we'll see. Somebody in my Discord just shared that they are soliciting people to do some kind of scientific research on chess for the paltry sum of $500. They just post that like yesterday or today. I thought that was hilarious. Great marketing scheme by them. Like dupe some scientists into writing a paper for $500, make Chessable look good. Great return on investment. What positional move puts black under a lot of pressure? Oh, I don't know. Bishop c2 maybe, if I had to guess. Oh, c5. Okay. Similar idea. Trying to target this pawn. So this messes up their structure a lot. I think I might have seen this scheme too, where it's like they take and then there's bishop e5 with a tempo, so they really can't deal with it. Okay, so the threat is bishop takes e6. Ruining the structure, not very good. Probably they have to live with it, honestly. I don't know if they can tolerate bishop c4, knight c4. That doesn't seem so good. But maybe there's rook e8, bishop e6, rook e6, bishop d8 or something. That doesn't look good either. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. Nothing looks good here, frankly. Maybe this. So this is trying to make things complicated according to the commentary. I'm not sure what's complicated about it on the face of it. Oh, okay. So this is the thing. They'd rather sack a pawn here. They could have played bishop f6, I guess. This is an interesting sequence. I don't know if I would say it's like instructive or forced, but you know, it's interesting. They describe the bishops in this position as massive. Huge bishops, yeah. For sure. Probably the only way to stop this pawn is to go here. Probably looks like it has nothing to do with the pawn, but purpose is they go here, we take, and then we can play king g2, and then there's no tactics to support this pawn. So we go here. If they take it, the knight can take. They go here, we protect the pawn. And otherwise, we're bringing the knight here. So I think this is the only move that makes sense, like even remotely. Now, do I go here? No, because of the move f3. So we have to get rid of this one first and then go here. Little tactic there. Okay. Not a lot going on for their commentary on this game. I guess because it's a draw, I feel like less inspired to speak. But I really like this c5 thing. It's interesting it didn't amount to anything. I think Duda and Rapport have a reputation for kind of like swinging wildly for the fences. Sometimes getting some big upsets, but not necessarily playing with a ton of like technical prowess, more like inspiration. So maybe unsurprising to get like a big advantage and squander it. I don't know if I would call this a big advantage though. Like black is just trading all the pieces out of the opening. So do we really take on d6? Probably it's necessary and proper to do so. Yeah, I'm not sure really where white lost their opportunity to win here. Chess do be like that sometimes, just extremely drawish. Little maneuver fest here. Funny draw. Welcome back, Eater Master. What was Ali Reza's plan? Great question. Ali Reza, what was your plan? Fill us in. Maybe to win the D pawn, something like that. Maybe we could take and queen d5 and queen d5. And nah, I don't really care for it. Maybe something attacking chess. I don't know. Or maybe take and it's like more sacrificing. Oh, I don't know. I'm just gonna do this because it looks wild and fun. Okay, so we do that and we take this one. A beautiful exchange sacrifice. Yeah, spotted it seconds. Easy to make a beautiful exchange sacrifice. I totally planned that all out ahead of time. Yeah, no doubt in my mind. This is the part where I get it wrong. Just kidding. Queen a8. Easy, obvious move. Is there any reason for black to be careful? Pfft, no, you should never be careful. Why would you do that? I mean, why be careful when you can allow knight f6? Right? So maybe g6 here. That allows knight f6 anyway, so probably we should put our knight back to g6. Or maybe play f5. No, they'll take en passant, so I think we have to play knight g6 here. But let's say they play like h4. Are we Gucci? Is all well in the world? I don't think so. I think I need to play this. Yeah, easy peasy. Yeatermaster was wondering if rook b2 is any good. Oh, it's any good for sure. I mean, and somebody spotted knight g6. Who was it? Also Yeatermaster. Okay, so this was the game. Queen's Gambit accepted. Of course, what else? Knight to b5, knight to b6, bishop e3, knight c6. Okay. We develop the pieces, not taking free pawns. Knight c3, good knight, back to e4. a3, no improvement of the knight, no knight b4 to d5. So, knight a5, take over b3 square, bishop. Queen acts like bishop, attack h7. Very good. Knight d5, rook d1, of course. Bishop a6, bishop d2. Eyeing knight on a5. So, knight b3, knight to e4, take, knight f4. Like a knife on f4, very good knight. But bishop c4, the pawn is hanging. Rook b2. Beautiful exchange sacrifice. Queen b2, bishop c4, rook c1, bishop d5. Bishop is as strong as rook on d5. Yes, rook e1, queen a8, increasing pressure. Queen c2, setting up sneaky trap. Bishop a3, thank you very much. Knight g5, knight g6. If h6, we lose the game in style. Knight f6, pawn f6, and queen h7. Checkmate. Very sad. Don't do that. So knight g6, h4, the move that I suspected in the game. Bishop b4, ruining chances to take, and then h6, counter-attacking move. They take and move the king. Yes, very good. Excellent position. We take the one good piece. Queen on outpost square, very good. We like it. Love to see it. Rook g8's an interesting move. To play g5, maybe. Nope. Switch to the queen side. And this should be a draw. Of course, all rook pawn endgames are drawn, as we know. Easy peasy. Made small progress, but after this final trade, they can shake hands. Yes, it is a draw. Hard work pays off, according to Chessable. These are just the pairings, and I don't care because it happened in the past. Okay. Chess by the numbers. Round 2 preview. Apparently some chess novice or somebody gave up this statistical analysis. using a numerical model to simulate the odds for each player to win the tournament. So after round 1, Caruana's odds were improved marginally, looks like. Jan Nepomniachtchi was right behind, and as you guys know, actually no, his chance was the highest, actually. It's not in order. So yeah, actually Jan ended up winning this whole event. So by round 1 it was predicted that he would. I wonder if the statistics will continue to show that, or if they're just kind of all over the place. Let's see. Chess is a deterministic game, so it's kind of interesting to see how representative statistics actually can be for the results. Like, can you predict someone's results in a deterministic game very precisely just based on a couple summary statistics like their rating? I think the only reason anyone watches baseball is because of statistics. Like, they just love statistics. Yeatermaster has a great question. Who would be interested in a chessable course for the statistical analysis? Well, I don't know. Bookies? People who want to gamble? No idea. Definitely not me. Although I always kind of give pause whenever I see a table or a figure. Apparently, he went for the prosaic d6. Yes, very prosaic of you, Mr. Nakamura. I wonder if I can just, like, sack pieces here. No, probably not. I was thinking something to try to, like, rapidly go take this bishop, but I don't think it's working. It's not prosaic enough, you know? It needs to be more prosaic. I wonder what happens if I play d6. Like, are they going to just flag me wrong? Yep. Okay. Rook d1. Rook belongs behind passed pawn. Not wrong. Just also a little bit of an incomplete picture of chess. Maybe here. For the good back rank memes. Or maybe... yeah, actually, that could be good. I don't know. Kind of want to allow queen b2 for the knight d3, but... I also just want to get my knight into the game. Maybe rook d4, you know, improve that piece. Rook d4, queen b2, knight d3, queen b1, king h2, rook somewhere. I don't know how good that is. Oh man, it was knight d3. Apparently the pieces are very poorly coordinated to deal with the d-pawn. But it looks like they're just taking the piece. Let's say I play something like this, right? They'll take, and bishop is hanging, so they'll go here. So maybe I go here instead. Cover that space. Yes, very good. Just kidding. e4. Okay. Looks like a slightly better version of the same. Kinda just want to go here. And check, and win the game. Hubble Truffle said someone did an analysis of winning probability of candidates after each round. That's actually in this book. I was just looking at that a second ago. Unless it's a different person's analysis. I remember reading the page where the guy said his whole spiel about like who he is and why he did the analysis, but I didn't really care, so I forgot all those details. But feel free to share it with the chat. Maybe other people want to see the stats. It might be worth comparing. I could at least show you guys their final results later on. Alright, how does Nakamura keep the h4 pawn alive? I'm feeling kind of hazy already. I did a couple hours of chess earlier. I see a tactic. Like if I could play knight f3 and then they play a move and then I play knight e5 check, that could win. Because the bishop's hanging. Kind of want to use tactics to protect my stuff. But if I play knight f3, I don't see why they would move the rook. Like maybe they would play bishop g4 or something. I don't know. I'm going to play knight f3 to not lose. I don't know. Okay. So it was rook d6, forcing bishop to a worse square, apparently. I thought the bishop was already on a bad square. So what's the worst square? g4? How could that really be worse? I guess it would block the rook. That could make sense, I suppose. Alright, I'm not sure I follow. Let's just see what they have to share. Okay, so they thought c8 instead of g4. g4 made a lot of sense to me. I could take this pawn on b5. They could take my pawn on h4. And then I could play a4 and just say, I don't really care that you took my pawn. That might make sense. Or maybe I could further harass the bishop. I don't think so. I think I should just take this pawn. I am wrong once again. It says now the bishop has to go to g4, but I still don't see why that's so bad. It's probably the next puzzle. No? Oh, okay. Alright, I'm just gonna move on with my life. It's kind of a crappy book if like something like that goes without explanation. But I just want to see the games. That's my main deal right now. So white is about to roll with the pawns. And black has to do something about it. Right. Yeah, we've all been there. Maybe we could rolleth with our own pawns. Like go here, they can't take with a rook, they have to go here, and then we can take this. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Okay. He played another losing move, so hard position for Jabov. Okay. So he can't play b4, but what about a4? Fantastic question. Probably I would play bishop takes a4. Let's see. Take. And then we are... I don't know, maybe just a piece down. Their king is almost trapped. Maybe we could do some bishop magic. Magic bishop. If I could get my bishop to like g4 or something, that would be pretty nice. Surprise, surprise. Here's a funny thing. Bishop f7, rook h5, bishop e6. No, they have knight e6. Uh-oh. I think I have to play bishop a4. With this amount of time left, kind of just gotta do it. And hold the fortress. I could let them advance a little bit more, but I'm not sure I really want to. I'd rather their pawn be on a6 probably, because right now it could be defended with knight b3 or knight c6. I kind of want to inconvenience them further. Maybe f5 and f4. Try to get them to run after that pawn. Start our own pawn running. Okay, so we're just gonna play for equality. This is fine. So he did end up pushing that h pawn after all, not the f pawn. But white has to contain the pawn. Well, I got options. For instance, I could play something like king e3 and I don't think this is a good move, so maybe I'll just abandon that. But my idea was to play rook g7 and rook h7 to win the queen. But that still involves losing a rook, which is not fantastic. So maybe we just get behind the pawn. No, then they still promote. So maybe we check. They go to probably not f4. Like maybe they'll go to h4. Rook h7, king g5. Oh yeah, then we can take the pawn. So we do this. Now in this case, I could take this and play rook and knight against queen. Could be done. I think it's actually forced at this point. Is it really forced? The reason is if I play rook h7 or king g2, they can just play h1 queen. Alright, I actually don't have to take the rook, but I do probably have to play this move. Alternative, I could play knight g3 and sack for the new queen. Would I rather play rook and knight against queen, or would I rather play this endgame? I think I'd rather play the rook endgame. I gotta go here, and here, and here, and they really have to sack something. I don't know. Hard decision. Okay, so I could go here, check, and back, and that's a draw. So I have to go here to protect h1 still. Otherwise, they're desperadoing for this knight. That makes sense to me. Okay, so here's the game. And this actually has comments in it, believe it or not. The world famous Berlin defense. Yes, of course. That's what this is called. But it's not going to the Berlin endgame. Whoever is writing the commentary for this, I forget who it is already. They always mention their games, so they don't cite them. That's something that kind of bugs me. I think you should probably cite your games. If you're mentioning them. If you're not mentioning them, that's fine. Apparently this is most principled. Yes. Use those principles. Principles on the attack. Knight c4 is also possible, but this is the main test these days, I guess. We've been seeing a lot of games with c6 recently in like various positions. This kind of pawn structure where they'll like play in the center, but then prepare d5 or d4 with c3 or c6. Okay, interesting position. Yes, of course. Bishop pair, but weird pawn structure. D7 pawn is not great. He says, while white has only 2 pawn islands. Alright, this is actually not like a grammatical sentence, but he mentions that the Karpov rule states that the side with fewer pawn islands has a better pawn structure. I found that this almost never applies, and I didn't know it was called the Karpov rule. So that's a fun thing to learn, that this rule that basically never applies is named after Karpov. Fun. Thanks, Hubble Truffle. Take care. See you next time. Protecting pawns, attacking pawns. Yes, chess is a pawns game. It's a pawns world. Sorry, guys. Probably gonna call it pretty soon. Let me see. So we take, and take. Apparently, it's too greedy to pick up the pawn for free. I think what they're insinuating is that it's like rook e4, queen e4. I don't know. Maybe they're even just playing bishop e3 and then knight g5. just says it's too dangerous. It doesn't really say why. I guess we could also always just say, like, you're not even really winning a pawn. Like, rook e4, queen e4, queen b5, and you don't have any back rank ideas. Oh, actually you do. It doesn't work because the knight is still there. But if you could play queen e1 and queen f1, then bishop f2 would win the game. So, but the knight on f3 is preventing all of that. Okay, anyway, so d5 was important. h3 prevents bishop g4. Yeah, that makes sense. It was a threat. So we stopped the threat. Finished development, which is generally a good idea. This is that prosaic move that Nakamura played, but rook d1 was better according to probably their engine analysis. Okay, then we have this endgame. This is an interesting position that went uncommented. Have to play this kind of ambitious way because your d-pawn is super weak. And there it goes, falling off. Arguably, this is like a good transformation for black too, because like they're exchanging weaknesses. The b-pawn obstructs the bishop. It's not very strong on its own. But white is also losing their weak pawn. But, you know, it's like both sides are kind of happy because the rook on the 7th rank is good for white. Black's pawn structure is maybe a little bit better. This is probably not a great idea, putting the pawn on the same color as the bishop. And there goes h4, fixing the pawn. g3 is supporting so that they can maintain the blockade of the h-pawn. Some shuffling occurring. Here come the pawns. Here come the pawns. There we go. And white's winning now. Alright. Good to catch up with the game. Let's see. So I've still got 13 games left to look at, but I think it's probably a good time for me to break off. One more game. How should black finish its development? Great question. How should we finish our development? I could bring this knight over to the king side. That seems pretty good and normal. Also kind of dodges the d4 stuff going on here. And the bishop takes c6 stuff, so maybe I'll try that. Queen b8's a good move. I think there's some classic games with this maneuver. Possibly in even more locked up situations than this one. I think this is something that goes together with this a5 Italian, which I don't play very often, but you know, it's good. It's interesting. Let me just go here. Connects the rooks. White is about to push through the d4 advance. Should black do anything about this? I kind of want to just open lines on the king side, like maybe play f5. If they play d4, I could also take on c4, potentially. I don't know if I really want to, but you know, it's a thought. Another thing, maybe I could play c5 and then bishop a5. c5 comes to mind just to prevent d4. The thing that makes it not so good is that the bishop is stuck on the dark squares. I think, though, because of their coordination, like, we can totally get away with it. Okay, so it's an alternative move. maybe now that all this stuff is blocked, I can come around like this. Just alternative moves. F5 was my original idea. I didn't really want to trade the bishop for the knight, though. Okay, so apart from eventually playing d5, black can move their bishop to the king side. Alright, I didn't even really think about that. I just wanted to get rid of it. That makes sense, though. Good bishop. Apparently, dude, I missed something interesting here. Maybe sack a pawn, like go here. Get the bishop pair. Let me get rid of their bishop pair. Oh, they could actually take with the knight, so maybe not. I'm not sure I want to open lines that badly. An idea might be like to do this, but it looks pretty slow. It just results in exchanges, so not too sure about that. I don't think d4 is happening like in any timeline. I have no idea. Queen f3. Let's see. Okay, an exchange sack. Yeah, why not pressure the pin first? Could take on d6. Yeah, this is very good. And here's the game. I'll probably stop right here just because I want to do some other stuff. But yeah, this is good, catching up on the candidates a little bit since I've been out of the loop. It's fun to see this queen b8 thing in action. I like this little bit of a stonewall strategy moment. I like bringing the bishop to the king side. Overall, nice draw. Fun exchange sack moment. Right about here. No. Oh, so it's the threat of the exchange sack. Didn't actually happen. Okay. Mahir, welcome. Mahir says that he prepped this line for Saket a while ago. It's queen b8. Yeah, it is theory. Just good to see it actually being used. Alright, I'm going to wrap up for now, just because I probably need to go make dinner or something. But thanks for tuning in, you guys, and I'll see you guys around. Alright, take care. Good luck with your chess.